Greetings, folks. Day 25 of the two-legged donkey derby race to the RS update. Or as we say here in Kerry, the race where both donkeys are lame, but they still think they're stallions. We're 1 week, folks, away from voting day, and Taoiseach and Taoiseach are still out there with the same old tired line and bullshit. Sure, 'tis all to play for. All to play for? Well, Jesus, lads, the only thing they're playing for now is who gets the soft chair and the chauffeur. And we know from the Irish Times poll that Catherine Connolly is 18 points ahead of Heather Humphreys. That's 38% to 20%. They're estimating that 6% of the population of Ireland will spoil their votes. Well, now, I don't know where the Irish Times are getting their research from, but from everyone that I'm meeting on grassroots level, I would say they'd want to put another nought and change that figure to 60%. Because every single person I'm meeting about this rigged election again are saying they're going to spoil their vote. And look, Micheál Martin again, he's out there saying polls don't decide elections. That's true enough, Micheál. But when the choices are Connolly and Humphreys, the people don't decide much either. It's like choosing between chalk and slightly duller chalk. And as for Simon Harris, he's outside saying, look, sure, anything can happen. That's rich coming from the man who's been in every job bar the one he's been qualified for. I'm asking everyone to go out and spoil your vote next Friday. Look, the confidence vote, the grey train rolls on. Yesterday we saw our Taoiseach, Simon Harris, the man with the permanent grin and the permanent spin, survived a Dáil confidence vote. 94 in favour, 65 against, and 1 absenteeism from Paul Gogarty, who probably just lost the will to vote altogether. Now, it wasn't the opposition who called the vote. Oh no, it was very clever. It was the government themselves, rushing it through to dodge a no confidence motion from Ian Thu over his handling, disgraceful handling, may I say, of the child's scoliosis care and baby Harvey. Now, that's not confidence, that's panic dressed up in a suit. And for those of us down in Kerry, we're noticing something. 4 of our own lined up to keep Harris in the saddle. Michael Healy-Rae, Danny Healy-Rae, Michael Cahill, joined by Minister Norma Foley, all voting to keep the grey train chugging on. You'd nearly hear the wheels grinding up Muckross Road in Killarney, because that's what this government have become, the grey train, rolling out on fumes, full of faces and not a fresh idea or a brain cell between the lot of them. They'll go anywhere once there's a free carriage and a bit of diesel money in it. Every Fine Gael and Fianna Fáil TD voted confidence. Just think of that. This Irish cobbled together corrupt government have no interest in this Dáil being dissolved. And sure, the usual independent suspects like Lowry, the Healy-Raes, Noel Grealish, Marion Harkin, Kevin Boxer Moran, Gillian Toole and Barry Hennigan all hitched their wagons too. But fair play to the people that didn't vote for them, particularly Carol Nolan. She, didn't vote for him. But I'm disgusted with Independent Ireland, with Michael Collins, Michael Fitzmaurice and Ken O'Flynn, who voted like on conscience to keep Simon Harris in power. It's absolutely appalling, Fianna Fáil might as well just join and say they're Fine Gael. And now Independent Ireland, well, I always thought that they were more Fianna Fáil than anything, but they might as well just roll in and have one party in government under Fine Gael, because that's what this is. But look, that's the real problem, folks. We've no strong opposition in this government. We need this government removed immediately. We've a Dáil now that'll prop up anything once it's wearing a tie. A political class more interested in protecting each other than protecting the people. But look, the race to the RS, the same circus, just different clowns. Meanwhile, back in the Donkey Derby, Connolly says she didn't know who she met in Syria. Humphrey says she did her best for Lucia O'Farrell, but still voted against an inquiry into the death of Lucia's son Shane. And when asked why she said she voted with the government, That's it in a nutshell. No conscience, no conviction, just follow the whip and hope that people will forget. We're told, folks, that this is democracy. I call it a two-legged donkey derby. They're both running, but neither can stand up straight. Look, in courtroom 4 as we speak, the case that could stop the whole farce. But beyond the noise, in courtroom number 4 in the High Court today at 12 o'clock, there's something real happening. Today, Niall James Burns is standing before Judge Creedon, taking on the state itself and Simon Harris. He's arguing that this entire presidential election breaches his constitutional and fundamental rights. And I'll tell you something, his case is very strong. I met with Niall myself in the High Court last Wednesday. He's not doing this for fame or favour. He's doing it for favour. And if any case is going to stop this farce, it's his. But, you know, hopefully now it'll all come good for him today. And I'll keep you updated the minute I hear it. But look, now they're on about smart borders and dumb decisions. While all this plays out, senior Irish and British officials are chatting about a so-called smart border to track who goes where between our two countries. Smart border, my foot. It's just a load of bollocks. Another way to keep tabs on the ordinary people while the elites jet around unchecked. And now the Taoiseach's talking about sending Irish peacekeepers to Gaza. Didn't we drop the triple lock only weeks ago? If we're not careful, our sons will be conscripted to wars that we never started and don't believe in and have nothing to do with. You know, back home, the HSC are trying to flog Baggot Street Hospital before even notifying the Land Development Agency as the law requires. They only filed the paperwork after the media called them out. 5 years that building lay idle. 5 years it could have housed families. It could have housed some of the 16,400 homeless people in this country. It's a disgrace, absolutely shocking. And what do we get? Bureaucrats tripping over each other, trying to sell public property while people sleep in tents on our streets every night. You couldn't make this shit up, folks. But look, the countdown is on to the files. And if that wasn't enough, today's the day Captain Ciarán Kelly has promised to drop the Garda Síochána server files. If and when that happens, it'll shake more than a few tree branches in Dublin. So we wait in anticipation and in truth. So here we are, folks, day 25 of the two-legged donkey derby race to the Áras. Polls, spin, bullshit, and the same old grey train rattling along, propped up by the same crowd who'll clap for anything once the cameras are rolling. But beyond the circus, folks, real Ireland is stirring. In the courts, in the farms, in the towns, in every kitchen where people are tired of being taken for fools. Because the presidency isn't about the next photo on the wall. It's about the soul of this nation. And that soul is still alive and kicking in Kerry, in Mayo, in Dublin, throughout every corner of the 32 counties on this island where truth still has a voice. So let them race their donkeys. We'll keep our eyes on the Republic. We'll keep our eyes on unity, north and south, Protestants and Catholics. Unity is the only thing that we're going to succeed in taking this government and removing them from office. Because when the time comes, we'll show the people of Ireland that they're not an audience. We're the owners of the show. The wild geese are coming under Captain Ciarán Kelly's leadership, and we are going to take our country back. Gura Míle Maith Agaibh.